Welcome back. The Miss Namibia and Miss Teen Namibia pageants for 2026 were officially launched this week with the Omaheke region and specifically Gobabis announced as this year's host, marking a major milestone as the pageant continues its strategy of rotating across regions. Our organisers and stakeholders say hosting the national pageant is expected to boost tourism, showcase local culture and talent, and as well as create economic opportunities for businesses and the creative sector in the region. Tonight we speak to Pijoo Nganate, Governor of the Omaheke Region, about what this means for communities, businesses, young people and the broader regional economy. Governor, good evening and thank you so much for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.
Good evening and my pleasure in joining you on this Daily Roundup. Good evening to the listeners.
Well, indeed, exciting news that we heard yesterday with the pageants going to be in the Omaheke region this year. Governor, what does this mean for the region, to be able to host Miss Namibia and the Miss Teen Namibia pageants for the first time?
Yeah, that's quite exciting news, an exciting time indeed to be alive and also to be at the helm of the region during such an exciting journey that the region is to embark on.
Well, from an economic perspective, Governor, let's talk opportunities. What opportunities do you foresee, particularly when it comes to local businesses such as hospitality, perhaps transport, tourism operators, etc., as a result of hosting the event in the Omaheke region?
I believe it's a time for the region to self-reflect, also to self-discover, know what our strengths are and what the leverages are that we have as a region, our uniqueness as a region. Also revisited some of the businesses that we used to have, like, for example, in the old days, I don't know whether you were born by then, we had the Plascom base, and that was a very big attraction. People would order from Windhoek, Bentong or Boerewors from the Plascom base, and everybody would want to eat from the Plascom base, just the same way that people would order things from Nando's or from Carlitos nowadays. So that was one of the big attractions, and that gave identity also to the region being named the cattle country. And those are some of the things that may come up. We have to become very innovative, creative, and say, what is it that we as a business can do that can attract people to our region? And also, are we looking for investors, people who would invest into the region and, for example, buy property, open shops, see business opportunities in the region. And, of course, our accommodation facilities, our tourist facilities, our coffee shops, our restaurants, the ladies selling fat cakes and the ladies selling a little bit of matangara there. To all of them, it means business.
Yeah. Well, the Miss Namibia pageant, Governor, is often seen as a platform for, culture and creativity. So how can, the local designers and performers and young creatives in the Omaheke benefit from this exposure? I stand corrected, but I believe that you did have some preliminary engagements with some people from the creative sector.
Yeah, I believe many people do not know what this Miss Namibia, Miss Teen holds in until it comes to your doorstep. And it's only then that you start realizing that for everyone, including the creative industry, there is some business. Last night, when we had our launch or announcement, we had 2 artists from the region performing, and everybody was like, oh, wow, we did not know that there is such talent in Omaheke. And now all of a sudden we are now looking at how can we help these young people to become more creative, more exposed. And, of course, we have so many tailors who would, for example, be interested in, for example, designing the Miss Namibia, Miss Teen costumes. And so it really creates a lot of opportunities.
Well, are there
Your makeup artists.
Yes, yeah. yes. Are there any plans in place, Governor, to ensure that, the communities beyond Gobabis also feel the impact of hosting, the pageant?
Yeah, we were waiting for the official announcement and the launch thereof, which was done yesterday. And now it's upon all of us as regional people to start being on air, start having community meetings. I had just yesterday an engagement with traditional leaders where I sensitized them. And I believe tomorrow there is a conversation between NBC and traditional leaders. Then now all of a sudden everybody will be an ambassador. And we have to make sure that this Namibia, as much as it's in Gobabis, it's not the Gobabis pageant. It's not something for Gobabis, but for the whole region. So we need to engage the whole region. And already people are calling you and me and say, hey, Governor, at least for the first time in my life, I can attend MS Namibia in person. Yeah. And of course, the outcry is also there for the current MS Namibia to start visiting schools and so on. And we are looking at facilitating that process so that finances should not be the thing that would hinder from visiting our schools and giving hopes to young people. And I must mention that Johanna is a very great orator and a very beautiful motivator and can motivate a lot of young people, not only in terms of beauty, but also in terms of using their brains, using their entrepreneurial skills, and wanting to realize that no dream is impossible. Dreams are there to be dreamed, but we must believe in a dream and live towards the realization of that dream. And I think that message alone is sufficient to encourage and motivate a lot of our young people.
Indeed. Well, Governor, I want to talk about, how events such as this, can contribute to changing perceptions about the region and also attracting future investment or visitors. As you rightfully mentioned, a lot of people, when we think about the Omaheke region, we think Gobabis, we think, cattle country.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, definitely perceptions is one of the things that keeps a lot of us behind as Namibians, because we do have perceptions about one another, about one another's locality, about one another's tribe, about one another's language, culture, and so on. And this is an ideal platform for Omaheke to showcase to the world, for example, the diversity of our region. We are so diverse in culture, so diverse in language, and we're basically hosting all 11 language groups in Omaheke. And there are a few other towns who are doing that. And also, do we need to rebrand and re-image ourselves as a region from moving away from negative publicity, negative perceptions, and rebrand ourselves and portray our good part, our good side of us as Omaheke, and also telling our beautiful stories. And I think there are a lot of beautiful stories to be told about Omaheke. And I believe an event such as this one will bring Omaheke at the rightful place where Omaheke belongs, and will also be an eye-opener to the world.
Well, just lastly, Governor, looking beyond the pageant itself, what lasting legacy or development outcomes would you like to see emerging from hosting the Miss Namibia and Miss Teen Namibia 2026 pageants?
Yeah, when I became governor, I look at the skewness of our town of Gobabis in terms of demography. And I said that I want to see the town becoming more homogeneous, everybody coming to the mainstream of town, in the center of town, doing business. So, and we have encouraged. And I told my wife the first thing that we must do, you have to open a business. We cannot talk without leading by example. And she have done so, and today the town is really homogeneous. Many people are here. They are now into the mainstream of town, mainstream of the economy. And my dream with this Miss Namibia, and I've been saying that even if one person can be made a millionaire by this Miss Namibia, I will be a happy person. I want to see that, for example, we promote generational wealth. For example, talking to our farmers so that some of the prices that will be won could be livestock, where someone can start his crop, grow his crop, and leave generational wealth behind. Where, for example, the municipality, I'm trying to convince them, make, for example, a plot of 10 hectares available, whether Wetfley, whether for Gobabis municipality, And one of these young people winning can come, settle down, become a citizen or a resident of, not citizen, sorry, resident of that town. And who knows, the next president of the country could be one of these winners of this Miss Namibia, who would then become a resident of Omaheke, or the next minister, or the next director, or the next governor of the Bank of Namibia. Already we have the governor of Bank of Namibia. Maybe we should not become so selfish, but could become anything else.
Yeah. I absolutely love your vision, Governor Nganate. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I think collectively as Namibians, we're excited to see the Omaheke region host the pageants this year. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much. And this is our time to shine as the region. And if we miss out on this time, we may not be guaranteed of the next time. So thank you very much for NBC also to put a spotlight on us as Omaheke. And it's also a call out for us to behave very well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was Governor Pijoo Nganate, the governor of the Omaheke region. Very excited, as the rest of us are, that the Miss Namibia and Miss T Namibia pageants of 2026 will be hosted in the Omaheke region for the first time. On that note, we wrap up today's edition of the Daily Roundup. We're, of course, back tomorrow, same time and place. So join us then. From myself and the team, it's good night and thank you.